In the highlands of ancient Japan, there is a story about a stonecutter. He worked from sunrise to dusk, carving mountains into stairways and temples. One day, the stonecutter wished to be powerful, and he was made a prince. But as a prince, he feared the sun, so he wished to be the sun. Then the clouds blocked him, and he wished to be a cloud. But then the wind scattered him, and he wished to be the wind. But the mountains stopped the wind, and in the end, he wished to be a stone. When the stonecutter returned to his original shape, quiet, unadmired, and unyielding, he was content. This story is often told as a parable of humility, but there is something else in it, something rarely discussed. At every stage, the stonecutter was trying to rise above the thing that limited him, and when he could not rise, he wished to dominate. Failing that, he vanished, only to reappear in a different form, searching again for greatness. This instinct for power, for recognition, and for significance is ancient. It isn't always pretty, and in a world that offers fewer and fewer ways to create something lasting, it is often twisted into cruelty. Today's video isn't a sermon, nor is it a defense. It is an anatomy. An inquiry into why people act like wolves in a dog park. You'll learn why the drive to rise above others is baked into our social fabric, why creativity is no longer the outlet that it once was, and why so many people, when they cannot build something worthy, turn instead to breaking someone else. Let's begin. Before we begin, if you appreciate sober reflection in a noisy world, then take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're building something here that cuts deeper than the surface, and your support makes it possible. Now, onto the subject. Nietzsche did not invent the will to power. He merely named what every civilization has already sensed. People want to matter. They want to rise above the anonymous mass. And this does not mean that they crave domination in the cartoonish sense. Many don't want thrones or empires. They want proof. Proof that their lives were more than biological accidents. And in the modern era, where heaven has been cordoned off and tradition called into question, power remains the only clear path to meaning. Some attempt to satisfy this will by building things, ideas, art, children, reputations, and cathedrals. These people tend to be rare. Their path is long, uncertain, and often thankless. The rewards are postponed, and the criticism is immediate. Others take a shortcut. The shortcut is cruelty. Easier than carving something beautiful is tearing something down. Easier than surpassing someone in skill is reminding them of their failures. And when a society makes creation punishing, through bureaucracy, cultural cynicism, or sheer neglect, then this shortcut becomes a crowded road. The result is not strength, but meanness, a sharp elbow in a crowded hallway, a comment thread filled with bile, an office where everyone is smiling and no one is safe. The will to power remains, but stripped of outlets, it decays, and what should have been a ladder becomes a weapon. This, then, is the foundation. People are mean because they want to matter, and when that urge is ignored, belittled, or boxed in, it finds another way out. There was a time when to create something worthwhile, even imperfect, was enough to earn a place. You could build a house, write a book, open a shop, paint a chapel ceiling, or start a band in a garage. You did not need credentials. What you needed was talent and conviction. And that time is gone. Today, creation is permitted only on certain terms. If you want to publish a novel, then you must appease committees. If you want to start a business, then you must navigate a labyrinth of taxes and filings before you ever touch a product. And if you want to build a following, then you must obey the algorithms. The free act of making something has become conditional, supervised, litigated, and filtered. Meanwhile, performance has replaced craft. You don't need to make good things anymore, only viral ones. Ideas are sold not on their merit, but on their metrics. The result is a pressure cooker where everyone is forced to scream louder, gesture larger, and slap glitter on garbage in order to be noticed. And those who refuse this carnival are quietly punished, ignored, and mocked. They are told their patience is outdated, their seriousness mistaken for arrogance. It becomes easier to tear down than to build, because at least destruction gets a reaction. And in such a world, the will to power turns sideways. Those who might have been artists become cynics. Those who might have led become saboteurs. Society creates the conditions for its own cruelty, and therefore its own dissolution. It strangles its saints and then wonders why demons dance in the ruins. And so the question is no longer, why are people mean, but rather, what else could they be under these constraints? When a person cannot rise, they begin to pull. They pull others down. They pull the ladder up behind them. They pull at the loose threads in every room until something unravels, and then they can say, "See, nothing matters." This is the final stage of the will to power gone wrong. Resentment weaponized. You see it in the group project saboteur, in the sarcastic peer who scoffs at effort, and in the anonymous commenter who insults someone trying to make something worthwhile. It's not that they don't see value, it's that they do, and can't stand that it exists without them. But in a well-ordered society, the best are elevated and the worst are at least invited to strive. But in ours, the best are mocked and the worst are handed microphones. The result is a strange inversion. The ugliest traits are seen as honesty, while beauty is treated as naive. The critic has replaced the creator as the arbiter of worth. And the outcome is predictable. Greatness goes into hiding. Courage is disguised as irony, and even kindness becomes an affectation, laced with disclaimers to prove it's not sincere. We've taught people that to care is to be a fool, and then we ask why everyone acts like a bully on Casual Friday. At its core, this meanness is a confession. It's the cry of those who could not become what they had hoped to be, and now they take revenge on the world for denying them. In another world, they would have written music, and people would have listened to them. But here, they settle for insults. And so, although we began with the stonecutter, we end with those who never even found the mountain. In the Odyssey, there is a moment when Odysseus returns home in disguise. After years of war and wandering, he arrives not with fanfare, but with patience. He waits, he watches, and only when the time is right does he string his bow and reclaim his place, not through force, but through precision and through earned strength. That kind of patience, that kind of dignity, is nearly gone now, and noise has filled the vacuum. Noise born of frustration, of bitterness, and of thwarted ambition. A culture that once honored the slow climb now rewards the fastest insult, and those who might have built something grand are too often left shouting into the void or tearing down the scaffolding that someone else dared to raise. But here's the thing, the will to power is not evil. It is energy. The question is what we do with it, and whether we will build a world that channels it toward greatness, or one that punishes it until it turns into cruelty. If you found value in this reflection, then consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It helps us continue this work, and it tells the algorithm that calm, serious thought still has a place in public life. Until next time, stay steady, and be better than the world expects you to be.